Thank you. All right, Hujam. It's time to talk about your game, dude. It's time to talk about your game. So this is the Admiral Schroder at tier 9. Some specifics about this. This is a ranked battle, by the way, it looks like. A little messy. The thing about it is she's kind of like a secondary monster as a cruiser, but as we've already talked about, it's kind of difficult to play a ship like this with secondaries because you don't have secondary specific commander skills anymore. So that's a thing. Aside from the secondary gimmick with the Schroder, she's got 305mm guns. They're okay. She's got a heal, some other things, but I never really cared much for the Schroder. She's got engine boost, and German hydro reaches like the 6 kilometer. Like I said, I don't know.
Engine boost is quite good. Like it's like 15%, I think. So
Yeah.
she can go way. I think she exceeds 40 knots with it, so you can really chase something down.
Right. So that's good for hunting destroyers or subs, especially late game. But I never felt like her main guns were that great.
No, they are not, because like she got the secondaries to quote unquote compensate for it. But as you said, without the ability to use commander skills to improve the secondaries further, that gimmick is
Right.
eh.
Yep. Falcon, no
Which
worries.
is also, quite frankly, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't have the ship, but I have a hard time speccing any cruiser for secondaries.
Right.
When you can't improve those secondaries any further with your commander.
Once upon a time, A-Gear and especially what's the other one with the S? I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Starts with an S. What is it, guys?
Siegfried?
Siegfried, thank you. Siegfried was specifically really good at secondaries. And then the commander rework happened, and all of a sudden its value like dropped in half overnight because of that. So let's talk about the Schroder. Let's talk about Hujam's build. And let's see, we'll watch the replay and see what happens. So you've got a full secondary build, auxiliary, secondary battery, and auxiliary mod. You've gone propulsion so that when you hit your engine boost, you get to full speed much quicker. You can also do ASW kind of, stuff. You got concealment, and then you've got damage control. If you lose engine and rudder, typically in a cruiser, you're better off going engine room protection. Honestly, if you've got such a really sexy engine boost, why not make that better by putting the engine boost modification on? I might run that here, personally. Hujam, is this a special captain? Are you running Lutyens, for example? Or is it like a Von Jutland? As you can see, it really doesn't matter either way. He does not have any skills chosen that have any sort of bonuses. So,
I mean, it would help for the talents of Lutyens.
correct. The talents would help. That's about the only thing. So, you got Gunfeeder, Demo Expert, Superintendent, Concealment Expert, Adrenaline Rush, Outnumbered, and Top Grade Gunner. Now, Outnumbered, this is a ranked battle. So, okay. I could see that actually working well.
I've seen it being used on super or battle cruisers to help with the dispersion. I don't have much experience with that ship or with that skill in particular because, like, every time I try to use it, I found myself in games where it's gonna proc for like 3 second active and then it's not active anymore.
Right.
It's very hard to control.
Right. Okay.
Like, the only time you have it guaranteed active is when you pretty much lost the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not good enough to make you come back.
Yep, I'm gonna ping Hujam just so he knows that we're covering his game. Other than that, I mean,
I don't like the demo expert.
I
That's
was
the
just
only
gonna
thing
talk.
I would change.
I would personally, I would do priority target, and Yeah.
You
Of
could do
these,
consumables enhancements too if you don't want priority target. Gets you a longer hydro, longer speed boost duration.
which synergizes really well with the extra, with the engine boost module or the hydro module. So yeah, that could work. But personally, other than that, I would definitely just. There's so, in my opinion, there's so much value to knowing when somebody is about to torpedo you. And I think a lot of people don't understand that value. So that's just priority target. But in any case, let's take a look at the rest of your stuff here. So you've got signal flags. You're not running det flags. Ooh, this is ranked too. You've got fire reduction, hydro uptime, heal boost, secondaries, speed, and consumables. Let's take a look at your secondaries now. You've got 128s. Now these 128s reach out to 10 kilometers. And then what is their pen? 32. Okay, so it's got 1/4.
The pen is good on them. Like you have a decent amount of them too. Like,
Yep.
I get it. Like when someone wants to take the secondary mod in slot 3 for this ship, I understand. I would not take the 6-slot module though. Like even on a secondary battleship, this mod is kind of questionable.
Yep.
On a cruiser, no. Like,
well, so the main. Go ahead.
Like your main damage is or at least should still be coming from your main guns. So
to me, if you're going to do that, the nice thing about it is you're focusing more on maneuvering and angling and less necessarily on, you know, trying to get your guns to shoot something. But I'm 100% with you though, Grunty. I would go for the reload booster instead of a secondary booster. I think the only line I might consider doing secondaries is, like you were talking about before, the German battlecruiser line. Like that's the only line I would consider my secondaries as an option.
I have the legendary. I have the unique upgrade on the Kurfürst, which gives a little bit of both. So that is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Especially if you play it as a brawler in smaller formats because you lose the range. But yeah, like.
I saw a question earlier in chat and I missed. Leon, you were asking about Stevie. Why is this Stevie's last stream? I'm 99% sure that we are putting Stevie to sleep for good on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, depending on availability at my vet. He weighs a whopping 4.8 pounds right now. He's not been interested in eating much. And at a certain point, I'm concerned his organs are going to start to fail, and I'm concerned he's just in a lot of pain. I want to be with him. I want to wake up next to him every morning if I can help it, but I don't want to watch him fall apart in front of me. So, he is currently falling apart. If you look carefully enough, you'll see some band-aids on the side there. We unfortunately cut his skin a little bit trying to get some matted fur out of him too. So that combined with his lack of eating, I think it's time. I think it's time. So that's why it's Stevie's last warship stream. Tomorrow night I'll be doing Civilization 6. I'm hoping that Stevie is still okay to be on stream then. And that'll be it. Duckman, I won't be. I will be holding him, don't worry. When my wife's cat was put to sleep, they didn't take her away. They put her on a platform. And here's all the secondaries by the way. They put her on a platform. They injected her, and then we just kind of watched her pass in front of us. And she wanted to get off the table. And I was the closest, so I stopped her and held her in place, and then I got to watch her die in front of me. So that's always been something of a bit of trauma for me and struggle. But no, he's dying in my arms, and when I take him to the vet, and we're not putting him in a we're not putting him in the carrier. I'm gonna carry him the whole way. So, anyways, Hujam, I apologize for making your replay into a downer for a little bit here, but we've got an Elser Carl to deal with, Ruprecht, Alaska, Kronstadt, Kitakaze, and Z46. Kitakaze's in mid, you don't know where the other destroyers... Nope, there's the smoke, that's the Z. Volunteers of Paul. Oh, thank you for that, Duckman. He had a good life. He's had a good life. So, heal time, heal time, heal time. Heal time, heal time. Kronstadt, broadside, AP, yes please, do it. And he just fired. There you go. Heal. Are you gonna heal? Hello? Heal?
This is, by the way, the first time Outnumbered has been active. And I think by the time you fired, it was off again.
Yeah. So, that's a good point that you're making, Grunty, about the effectiveness of that. So, if he's not using Outnumbered, what should he use instead at tier 4?
I mean, he already has 2 tier 4 skills. There's no reason for to pick even a third.
Right. Okay.
You can pick up, for example, Survivability Expert to get a little bit more hit points.
That would be sexy.
You have
I like
3
that
or
idea.
5. You can take heavy AP for your AP salvos. It's not the worst thing to do on a battle cruiser.
Yep. I like how this Carl came out broadside to you, and I like how you just smacked him with your AP.
If you really want to keep the demo expert for your secondaries, you could just pick up the priority target and something like grease the gears.
There's a lot of options that open up, and I agree. I don't think Outnumbered is all that it's cracked up for.
It's just so situational. And it's
So,
often out of your control if you can get it or not.
in order to make it work, you kind of have to make a conscious decision at the start of each battle to go opposite of where the rest of your team is going. Otherwise, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, but even then, like you can't control if your team is following you, right?
Right, that's what I mean. Yeah,
and you need the enemy, and you still need the enemy teams visible somewhere. So if nothing is spotted,
right,
you also don't get it.
And then on top of that, you're also going to have all the people that are going to complain about you because you're not following their orders to follow them to someplace, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, you got your Hydro blazing. That's going to keep the Z46 detected. Kitakaze's heading in this direction too. Now you're in the Z46's Hydro range.
Torpedoes are backboard.
46 shot someplace else? Okay. Whatever.
Fire alarm.
2 ships left, or 3 ships left. Alaska. And obviously this Kitakaze that's just guessing. I might stop and just get the cap. You're not detected, so I don't know the need to rush in. Is this from The Hobbit? I don't know, Patton. This is requested by... Who did that? Duckman. Celtic Angels, Edge of Night. It sounds similar to something that we heard in that show.
Yeah, just look at that. This destroyer is even within 6 kilometers.
And your secondaries
And
are
the
barely doing
secondaries-
anything.
Yeah, and they're missing, like... You know that your secondaries are missing if the emblem for the secondary hit goes down in between hits.
Problem gelöst.
Okay, so this is what he sings in Gondor. Okay. I know there's one thing he does sing, so. Now, this Alaska's got a below water or waterline citadel. You're not going to citadel him up close. Your best choice is to go for full pens. Honestly, right now, I'd just go for the ram.
I don't agree. It's like where you wish you were in the egg here instead and could just drop him.
Now, the other thing too is, when you've got a water citadel or a waterline citadel, you can also try shooting at the turret barbettes. That's your best chance, in my opinion, of getting a citadel, because those are above waterline, so you'll actually hit them. The hard part is you have to get it through.
I think if you wanted here, you could have actually avoided that ram too.
You could have, but
Because he turned in, if you turns in as well, your rear goes away, and I think you get the shots off and kill him before he hits you.
I don't know that you kill him. That's the problem. He was so healthy going into that round, the Alaska. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this is actually the best thing that would have worked out for Hujam.
I mean, the game is pretty much over, right? There's no way he loses this.
Absolutely. And this is absolutely definitely the song that what's his name sings.
Like, if you want to go for the ram and take the damage that way, all good. Like, no issue with it.
Think about it this way. He's, like you said, he's going to win no matter what. But if he missed the ram and then dies to the Alaska's next salvo, well, now you're helping the enemy do more. So, get him out. I think this is fine. Actually, since you're just sitting here, Hujam, it's been a long time since we've done a tip shot. Like this.
Oh.
Is that sexy or what, huh? It's like...
Two boats kissing.
That's just... That's cool. I'm sorry, but I have to geek out for a second because that's cool.
With that screenshot and how this game ended, you could title the replay "Going for the Kiss."
Man, look at this flag in the middle. Look at this flag in the middle. Oh my god, can I do something and make this flag in front, like... Look at that.
Oh, that's a Luthyan's flag. He was using Luthyan's.
That's almost funny too. Can I get it in the frame? I could do like that, but I like the original one better.
You can barely see what flag it is from that angle.
Yeah. Alright, anyway. Whatever. So, nice work there, Hujam. Nice work. The side shot is better.
Yeah,
I like just the tips. I like the tips. That's cool.
But it's again like it shows the flaws of that secondary thing, right?
Yeah.
You get in the ideal situation, you catch an enemy destroyer within your hydro range at 5.5, and you still can't hit him reliably with the secondaries.
Well, so let's get through this and let's take a look at the battle end screens, and let's take a look and see what the responses here, the results are.
It's a
by
lot
the
of
way,
secondary hits though on the battleships, I think.
Mm-hmm. Reminder chat, I do have a giveaway going for an arpeggio container. You came in second place, Azuma beat you by 7, so it's a good thing you won. Here's the part that I think is the most important. Alright. Secondary battery. 148 hits out of 779 fired for 35,000.
The damage itself is okay.
It's about 2/3. About 2/3 of his damage.
The problem is how many you miss.
No, I'm sorry. It's about 1/3 of his damage. Maybe 40%. Alright, now let's take a look at the particular ships and see. So, the Alaska. You hit him with 75 HE shells for a total of 18,000. That feels very anemic. You did the same with you did nearly the same with just 9 hits with your AP. Imagine if you got one more salvo and you got to 12, you would have done more. Kitakaze. You hit him with 12 shots for 3,800. Some of that probably killed modules. That still feels very low.
I would love it would tell you how many actually you fired at a particular ship.
Alright, Carl Johan. This is the beginning of the battle. 55 hits for only 11,000. Now, Carl is a Ruprecht, so you're probably not going to penetrate his side armor when he gets hit by it, right?
I have no idea about the armor scheme of the Johan.
Yeah. Well, it's a Ruprecht. It's the same hull as a Ruprecht, I think. And then there's the Kronstadt. 6 shell hits. HE shell is doing 2,000. I mean, you started 2 fires with your shells too. I feel like this ship, it's just not worth it to invest in a secondaries. 18%. Thank you, Light. Yeah, 18% hit rate on the secondaries. If there were commander skills that could help with that, then I could see you going for secondaries. I just don't see it otherwise. I don't. Let's take a look at the replay render here. It's the Schroder game. You don't bring it for the secondary, you bring it for the Zerg rush. In other words, charging, firing your torpedoes, and killing whatever.
You don't have torpedoes.
Oh, wait. So what's the Zerg rush you're speaking of then, Patton?
They do a lot of close range. I mean, he was very close range to that Alaska, and a lot is
maybe with Lutyens, but we didn't see Lutyens proc.
He had Lutyens on
right, and we didn't see it proc, so
I mean, it must have proc though with 170 somewhere in the fight against the Alaska in the end, I guess. I don't know.
Engage at extremely close range, outmaneuver their turrets with your speed and turning circle. Okay. You just got to get there to make that happen. I haven't seen that, personally, I haven't seen that happen yet.
As I said, I can see if someone wants to extend the range of the secondary module in slot 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but the 6 slot, no.
No. Main guns, always.
I think it must have propped somewhere here.
What's weird is we didn't see a notification or a...
I didn't pay attention to it.
Okay.
Maybe
mildly successful.
Maybe he has the flares disabled. Who knows?
That's true. That's true.
I
Going
only
for the full
noticed it at
stealth.
the end on your death pick that he had this flag from Lutyens on the ship.
Okay.
If I'm...
Okay. Alright, well guys, let's move on. Hujam, thank you for the support.